Radio ear? An audiologist recommended hearing aids for me, made by a company named Radio ear, invoked as glorious leading-edge technology. But radio ear meant hearing aids, sitting on top of my ears like cats, draped over the back of a lazy boy. He had put my 3-year-old ears through a full workup. I had severe hearing impairment. I could hear loud sounds, but not speech. In short, I was deaf. In the dictionary, the word deaf follows the word dead. Dead air. Deadbeat. Every parent imagines their child's first steps, graduation, marriage. But when their child cannot see, walk, or hear, those futures die. For parents, a child's handicap causes grieving not incomparable to death. They no longer see their child as a strong, confident, proud adult. They see nightmare images of lifelong dependency. White canes, wheelchairs, hearing aids. I have no recollection of the day they were plugged into my ears. But finally, I was becoming human. Deaf model Niall DeMarco once said, or signed, "Own your identity. Love your deafness. Love who you are in the world." Easy for him to say. He's super hot. Unfortunately, many deaf and hearing impaired people struggle to embrace their deafness. Dr. Jeannie Gertz writes in her dissertation for Gallaudet University that many deaf people think of themselves as inferior to hearing people, what Gertz calls dysconscious autism, leading to stigmatization of those who choose cochlear implants. But no matter your challenges in the world, whether it's your own struggles or my hearing inability, if we don't embrace ourselves, we can't be embraced by others. Rebuilt by Michael Chorost. My hearing aids enabled me to take my place in a hearing world. I went to school with people who heard normally, but I asked for repeats, constantly missed jokes. Social norms are overheard. But even the most skilled deaf people cannot overhear. I did not know until high school that people went to parties. Community? Intimacy? Like car accidents, they happen to other people. In my freshman year of college, I was so desperate to meet women that I knocked on every dorm room and introduced myself. A memory that still makes me cringe. I ate alone. I had friends, but not enough to book lunches and dinners. I longed to have a body that didn't need to eat. It took me longer to go from puberty to my first relationship than it took the entire United States government to design and land a spacecraft on the moon. But how much bandwidth can a human lose and remain connected? On a trip, the world is softer. I switch batteries in my hearing aids and wait for loud sound. But it doesn't happen. I've never had 2 hearing aids fail at once. Emergency room, now! I conduct an interview with the nurse. I'm having to lip read more and more. Minute by minute, I'm going completely deaf. The volume is at 5, the top number. I need a 6, the place where footsteps, birds, and telephones live. But 6 is unreachable. I am completely deaf. There are many humiliations. I ask receptionists to get me when I am cold. I don't start conversations with people. When I attend a meeting at work, I can't follow what they're saying. They try to include me, but it's hopeless. And they return to talking like normal people. They aren't being unkind. They don't know what they can do. Neither do I. In doctor's visits, a phrase comes up over and over: cochlear implants. The implant would make me, in the literal sense, a cyborg. The computer would decide what and how I heard it. People who go completely deaf report feeling dead, invisible, insubstantial. They feel it is they who've become unreal, not the world. If deafness is death, hearing again is rebirth in somebody else's body. Who hasn't wondered what it'd be like to live in somebody else's body? If I got the implant, I would find out. There would be a post-surgical scar, which, although eventually hidden by regrown hair, would nonetheless be present. The somberly impressive cost, $50,000, and the 30-day silent period between surgery and activation. The leg is a lever. The heart is a hydraulic pump. But the eyes and ears are passageways of the soul. Restoring them seems akin to magic. After surgery, voices sound like Minnie Mouse. And in my house, there's a high-pitched towel. I interrogate the TV, the microwave, the fridge. Is my smoke alarm going off? What the fuck am I hearing? I storm outside. On the other side of the street is a leaf blower? A leaf blower! The day I went deaf, I also became dizzy. The cochlea controls balance as well. I felt drunk. I lost the auditory world and the physical world, fixed and stable. Pissed, working myself into a rage. Half of the fun of swearing is hearing it. Fuck is satisfying because it's verbal dynamite. But fuck, translated as a lame fuh. It had all the impact of a deflating tire. And I sounded like a mouse, which pissed me off even more. I was hearing, but back to the same old struggle, to hear and to be heard. To the Greeks, blindness is a brutal gift from the gods, enabling victims to become singers of tales. But nothing is more isolating than deafness. I would accept the gift of hearing without hesitation. Hearing with the cochlear implant, I was the receptor of a flood of data, sound constantly stitching into meaningful language. But I did not feel like a hearing person. The transistors cannot make me listen. Sometimes I connect with people, but often I fail. I have to learn to glide over the sound stream like a stone, skipping across a lake, getting the general meaning. But I'm a better human being now. Friendlier, more tolerant, with less internal static clouding. Not just what people say, but what people mean. And I can now gripe about cell phone reception like everyone. That I can gripe is extraordinary. Going deaf is death. But with technology, I've emerged on the other side, rebuilt.